And it's kind of dangerous to give the politician the mic, right? But today I have a frog stuck in my throat. I'm not going to take too long. But somebody else was telling me that I'm doing the best Marlon Brando impression. So the horse is right here. No, but Marlon Brando of Bay Area is right here. But I have a couple things to say about Ash. One is, I go back a few years back, and my son was actually taking an interview about diversity. And we didn't know Ash back then. I was on the planning commission, and we reached out and said, Ash, we would like to take your interview. Now, Ash had a pretty busy schedule as always. And he said, well, why don't you come by to the library, I have my last meeting and I'll see you there. So I show up there and I start talking to him about stuff, I told him about the planning commission. The first thing he tells me, Dr. Japra, the first thing he tells me is, when are you going to run for office? And I'm like, I don't think so, Auqat, right? I don't have the Auqat to run for office, right? And he was really upset with me. He was like, what is this, we need Indian Americans to get out there and run for office and make things happen because we are the role models for the next generation. If we don't do it, who will do it? And he was quite upset with me. And that kind of stayed with me, and that was back in 2006. And 8 years later, I decided to make it a run. And obviously Ash was there as the inspiration, as the guiding force, as the real support system behind making this run happen. Along with all of you, including Dr. Japra, Yogi and everyone else, it was an amazing show of force of our community coming together, making things happen, right? Because we can't do it ourselves. We just cannot do it ourselves. We need to rely upon coming together as a united front, and that's how we can make things happen. And that's what we need to do with Ash. Because if you look at Raj Salwan, amazing candidate we had, 800 votes short, 800, right? And how many unregistered voters do we have from the Indian community? Like 10,000, right? 10,000 plus. So all we had to do was register 1,000 voters in Fremont, and Raj Salwan was over the hump, right? So it's a lot that we can do. So I'm going to leave you with something very simple. One is, obviously the fundraising is part of it, right? We all need to contribute to Ash. I already have. And I will continue to contribute to Ash's campaign because fundraising is a key component. But secondly, all of us should reach out and figure out who do we know in this district and get them to register to vote. That is probably the most important thing we can do. Register to vote, because at the end of the day, elections are made, like how Yogi was calling it out. The Indian community can make a difference by just voting, and we have a tremendous show of force that we can exert on the election by getting people to register to vote. And finally, the most important thing, and I'll be doing that for Raj and my wife Seema, she's going to be doing that as well, which is going out and knocking on doors. That makes a huge difference in any election. We talk about social media, but we have to go in there, knock on doors, and talk about the merits of the candidate. That makes an amazing difference. And I will be out there, and if everyone in this room gets out there knocking on door and talking about why we are supporting Ash, Ash is already through. All of us from this room, we need to be out there knocking on doors. So do have your word for that. Yeah. Come on, everybody. I want to hear from everyone. We have to get voters to register to vote and knock on doors. That's what we need to do, and Ash is through. In my mind, he's already a winner. He's going to make it happen for us. Because at the end of the day, Ash is very clear. He's very clear-cut. He's very black and white. I'm going to support this, I'm not going to support this, right? He's very simplistic in his viewpoint. He's very idealistic, and that's the kind of leaders we need. Because he's not going to flip-flop, he's very clear-cut. And once he's motivated, once he's behind something, he gives it all he can. He's ready to take sides, he doesn't sit on the fence. These are the kind of leaders we need. So Ash, I'm very happy to support you, and I'll do all I can to make you better.
Very good. Risi always brings energy to whatever results, and especially in this room, you've always done that. Thank you very much. And thank you, Seema, also coming and joining us all the way from Saratoga. And ladies and gentlemen, now I think,